Welcome and thank you for tuning in to the Human Training Your Dog Has Been Begging You For podcast. And if you are needing help understanding your dog, their wacky behaviors, you've come to the right place. We're Charles and Laura Countryman, the co-founders of Canine Culture Dog Training here in Dallas.
Good morning.
And as always, we have senior trainer and head of dog evaluations, Wyatt. Good morning, Wyatt.
Good morning.
So guys, today we're going to be talking about aggressive/reactive dogs.
Okay.
We did a podcast about 6 months ago, similar to this, but this one, I'm kind of thinking we'll talk a little bit differently. And I've noticed some of the reactive dogs that we've trained recently. Well, it always is half the problem is the human side of the leash.
This is true.
But there's been a couple recently. The dog was amazing here. The dog was amazing, not just in our facility, but out in the community with our trainer. But man, the owner really struggled at home. So that's the missing link with all good dog training, with a trained dog. That, it doesn't matter if we train a dog for 9 straight months. Eventually it has to go home.
Yes.
Yep.
And then that owner has to
Put the work in.
Well, also rewrite the rules.
Oh, yes.
You can't just go back to snuggling your dog.
Yes.
Snuggling the dog wasn't helping. Doesn't mean you can't snuggle your dog. Yeah, but you don't snuggle after the growl.
Yeah, that's true.
You're reinforcing that bad behavior. You're letting them be a gangster and you're reinforcing the gangster behavior.
Because love does not fix almost anything.
No, structure does.
Yes, structure and clarity.
Right. So you don't let your teenagers, run around and break windows and
yell at you.
Throw the couch upside down when they're having a temper tantrum, refuse to do the dishes, tell you to F off if you ask them to mow the lawn. You don't let your kids do that. Teenagers do that. So that's really what you're allowing your dog to do when they're expressing reactive or resource guarding behavior, and you don't enforce it right away. You're letting them give you the middle finger.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you go over there and kick them or do something crazy.
Yep.
But you need to step in.
The other hard part about that, too, is most people wait years of these bad habits before they try and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So they've effectively trained the human's brain to react a certain way.
Right.
Yes.
Which is also, it's hard to just say, oh, it's the owner's fault. Well, they've been trained to act like this. It takes a while for us to untrain our brain
to calm down
our dog's brain.
Yeah, we had to do a private lesson the other night, last week, and dog did, fabulous, but still resource guard when someone comes in. So immediately, knock on the door. I actually never trained the dog, so I went with one of our trainers. The dog knew that trainer, but the dog had really never met me other than casually. And right away, the dog quit barking and lunging at me and then just calmed down. And then eventually, as we migrated to the living room, they said that one of the issues they had was the dog would relax eventually until the guest got up and walked out of the room. Then the dog go nip him.
Mm-hmm.
So the dog, settled down really within a minute. It was ridiculous. She said, "What'd you do different?" And I said, You didn't notice what I did different. For one, I didn't stare at your dog the moment I came in. The other, I didn't try to pet your dog when I came in.
Yep.
Literally, I ignored the hell out of your dog, and you and I talked.
Yep.
I made it so the dog wanted to interact with me. And then after the second time the dog came and insisted to meet me, then I finally acknowledged the dog even existed. That drives dogs crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work 100%? No. But if the foundation's all there, then it should speed up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you try that on the very first lesson? No, you're probably not going to get anywhere because the dog has no foundation to work from.
Yes.
So the dog laid down, by my feet. Then I got up and I just walked out of the room, and the dog casually looked at it. She said, "Well, he doesn't do that with others." And I said, "There's a couple things going on. One, you're calmer."
Yeah. She's not expecting the dog to bite you.
Because she felt that I could pull it off. So she calmed down. I said, the other thing that you're forgetting is the first thing I did was hand you a leash and said, put this leash on your dog. Because if you have a dog that's uncontrollable or just really ill-mannered at the door, the dog has no business being at the door.
Yep.
That's very true.
You need to have a leash on the dog so you can provide feedback, control, and communication to the dog at the door. And if you're not getting what you want, you have the means to guide them to a different area of the house instead of yelling at them, go, go, go. And dog's looking at you like, I ain't going anywhere.
Or getting the dog more excited.
Right, because now you're all irritated and you're frustrated because your dog won't mind. And the UPS guy's like sitting there thinking, I'm about to get bit. It just catapults. That energy just goes crazy really fast.
Yes.
And
because you're not in control.
You're not.
Nope. When you lose control, the dog says, woo, fun time. Let's lose control together.
Let's just go back the way things used to be. Someone someone knocks, I bark. I lose my cool, and you yell at me, and this is kind of what we do.
And this is awesome.
And this is fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because the dogs get a lot out of barking.
If the dog wasn't getting something out of that, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, the first thing I did was hand her a leash, and I said, this is a big mistake most people make with puppies, but also reactive dogs or resource guarding. They think I have a trained dog. I'm not walking my dog, so my dog doesn't need to be on a leash. And the leash in the house is a great tool, and people need to use it more. And the leash comes off when those behaviors have evaporated, dissipated, gone away.
It's interesting when we tell people to do this. We tell people every dog that graduates out here, you need a leash on your dog.
That wasn't the first time she'd heard it, right?
Yeah, leash on the dog, drag a leash, tether your dog to you.
What's drag a leash mean?
That means you have we say get a cheap leash from the dollar store, cut the loop out, and they just have a leash on them all the time, dragging around the house.
Right. And why do we cut the loop off?
So it doesn't get stuck on the table, furniture.
It'll still occasionally get stuck, but if you cut that loop off, it'll usually just slide under everything. And that's why we tell them get a cheap one because you're about to ruin it.
Yeah.
But also, if your dog chews on it, big deal. It's $2-3. Go get another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But people think we're telling them to do the most abusive thing because they have a leash on their dog in the house.
Yeah. It's not. It's just abnormal because people don't think that. They think leash, walk, leash, walk. No, leash is communication.
Communication. Yeah, a lot of people get bent out of shape more with that than us telling them to crate their dog.
Right.
It's so weird.
It's a freaking leash. It's just dragging it. It's a 6 or 8 foot long leash.
Yeah.
It's on a flat collar. It's good.
We preach that dog reactive guarding dogs, but also over friendly, happy dogs.
Exactly. Because if you have a dog that's jumping all the time because he's so friendly, if they have a leash on, someone's at the door, you just stand on
the leash.
The leash so it's high enough that the dog can sit comfortably, but every time he jumps, he pops himself back down. He's doing that to himself. I'm just talking to the person at the door.
Yep.
And eventually he'll figure out, oh, shoot, that's not working. I guess I'll just sit here. And then when he sits there, now the person's allowed to touch him, pet him, and acknowledge they exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reactivity. Leash is your friend in the house, out of the house, but especially in the house. Like you said, Wyatt, the dog has practiced behaviors. He has gone this far in life doing everything. What he does has some kind of paycheck. It makes him feel good. It makes him feel like he's the dog enjoys it. He's getting a paycheck out of it. So you have to rewrite. No, these are now the rules. So if you want your rule to be when somebody comes to the door, you give a bark or two. I'm totally fine with that. That's one of the reasons we have dogs, warn us the boogeyman is at the door. But when I say a command, enough is what we say. That's it. I do not need you to continue to bark. You've done your job. You let me know the bad guy's there. Now you need to chill. If your dog doesn't, you need to decide what is the behavior you want your dog to actually do when people come to the door.
Yep.
And that's going to be your household rule. So if you say, well, I want my dog to leave the room or I want my dog to go lay down on his bed, someone knocks on the door, they bark, you say enough, and then you take them over to the bed and then you tell them, lay down. And you have them lay down. Then you go answer the door. This works a lot faster and easier if you have 2 people because one person's making sure that the dog stays on the bed.
Yes.
Now you go interact with the person at the door. And if they get up, you say, no, enough, take them back. And it's repetition.
Yep.
This is probably why it's so hard to train this aspect because most of us don't have enough visitors to get the repetitions in.
Well, that's my problem. Pickles, we still deal with him jumping on people because I'm just not that popular.
Oh, poor Wyatt.
That many people.
Most of us don't have that many.
Yeah, most people do not.
And
That's why most people struggle with this, because we do not have enough random visitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the 2 or 3 regulars he knows not to jump on.
Yeah.
Other people.
And honestly, I mean, most people have a lot of Amazon crap delivered nowadays, but Amazon don't come into the door.
No.
They just throw it on the doorstep and leave. So that's why this one is so difficult. You do need to enlist the help of a couple people. Tell them what the ground rules are. Don't acknowledge my dog. Don't stare at my dog. Don't do nothing. And then you're going to go back and forth until you see the behavior you want. Don't forget to acknowledge your dog with good. I had to keep telling her when the dog would look away and calm down, say good. She's gone through training, but that is the hardest part for owners, is to mark the behavior that you want to see. We're happy we're getting that behavior, but we forget to mark it for the dog. Now the dog don't really think it's
especially if you've been spending 20 minutes working on this, and this is the first time your dog finally did it correctly, and we're frustrated, you just stop and be happy and make your dog happy and reward that good behavior.
Right. But don't get crazy. Don't throw a whole bunch of energy. Oh, good boy. Oh, yeah. Now you got them all wound up again like a top. So it's the same real behavior you're going to do out in public. When your dog demonstrates the behavior you want him to see, or you want to see from him, mark it. Good. So I look at somebody, I didn't bark, and I kind of look away. Good. I look at somebody, I look away. Good.
Yeah.
I mean, don't just take it for granted, or he'll quit doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your end real goal of this is for your dog to start making good decisions. Right. So you don't have to micromanage.
So you don't have to do that all the time.
The end goal of dog training is you have a trusted, well-mannered dog that you don't really worry about. And it's nice.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of feedback to get
it does. It very much does.
The older the dog, the more feedback it takes, because we are changing an ingrained habit that the dog has been practicing in some instances for years.
The more baggage we've got to unpack.
And like you said earlier, though, we have to do that for the owner, too. Because in their brain for years, they have a dog that's trying to kill every dog. Lunging, barking, acting a fool. So we got to get them fixed, too.
Right.
They all need to get fixed.
Yeah, they need to calm down.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a client in group class. It took her 3 months to actually use the leash correctly because she was so afraid of letting her dog have slack on the leash.
I know it. Yeah.
And she did it on accident once, and she's like, wow, it works. And I'm like, yes, this is why he acts so much better for the trainers and not you, because we're doing all of this correctly. And she just couldn't make herself do it.
To give slack in the leash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when a dog feels the tension in the leash because you're holding them, that creates a state of arousal, a higher state of arousal. Yeah. When you give them slack, they calm down. I mean, it goes hand in hand. The problem is most people don't trust they can give their dog a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
That dog is also like 80 pounds of solid muscle and has pulled her over. It's like she had a legitimate reason to not trust it. Just took her a long time to untrain her brain.
So,
and I think dogs know when their owners don't trust them. And 100%. That has a lot to do with a lot of how they are, because they have to protect themselves.
Right.
Like our Georgie,
they don't trust the owner's going to take care of it.
Like our Georgie, he trusts us so well, he will let a dog come up and almost bite him because he knows we will not allow it. And has never and people are just amazed how George would
that he didn't respond.
Yeah, he just sits
because
there.
he knew we weren't literally going to let that dog bite.
That was Abby in group class the other week. Dog lunged like 3 inches from her face, and she just kind of looked at it. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, Abby.
And Abby is good because Abby used to be a little feisty. Girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to get
week before last Saturday group class. So the big standard poodle that graduated, when they first came to training, mom and dad had a muzzle on him. Yeah. Mom was on a leash, dad was on a leash. So they had 2 leashes on this dog because mom couldn't control it. So dad was there to be the backup. And then, dog went through training. Reactivity went away with us and her training. And then we followed up with group class. I was there at the first group class. Dad's on the leash as a backup. Mom's walking the dog. I'm like, you guys reverted right back to your old habits. Yeah, but he's very strong. And so I get that. But let dad at least have the end of a long line and kind of remove him. And really quickly, the dog calmed down a little bit. And now I said, Dad, I'm here. You can disappear. If something bad happens, I'll step in and help Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we took that second leash off, that dog calmed the hell down.
Yeah.
Yep.
And got dad away because now it's like, oh, I don't need to behave this way because I have 2 people handling me.
Yeah.
Mom can actually do it.
Yeah.
And so that was like 3-4 weeks ago. And then last Saturday when I was at group class, she was walking in the middle of the group. I took her dog, and I'd never trained the dog.
Yeah.
Walked through the middle of the group, no responses, no bursts. She's walking with loose leash. Is he completely fixed yet? No, but my God, what a transformation.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, but it was her energy. She was holding that leash tight. Dad had a leash on it tight. I mean, the guy was that poor poodle was under restraint.
Yes.
Yep.
From the moment they left the house. Yeah, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to go.
Yep. Yep.
So they were literally causing, and not intentionally, but their how they were handling him was creating. Yeah, shit's bad. We're going out into the war now.
I mean, I would say probably a large chunk of the reactive dogs that are all fear reactive.
Yeah.
A lot of it is I don't think mom or dad can handle this, so
right.
I need to step in and handle it for them.
Yeah.
Right, and that was one of the problems because this is a full size standard poodle. So pretty good sized dog. And mom was pretty petite. It is pretty petite, and that was her concern that he would lunge so hard she would lose control.
Yeah.
And that's why I told him, if that happens, I'm within 5 feet. I'll get your dog. It ain't, nothing's going to happen. You just got to trust.
Yeah.
So once she trusted me that I wouldn't allow something to happen, then her dog could start trusting her.
Yeah.
But yeah, watching her develop over the last 3-4 weeks in group class, that's a pretty cool paycheck because we've already trained the dog. Now we're working on training the owner. And that's the hardest one.
That is
I have yet to meet a dog trainer that doesn't complain about that. And because we get pushback. It's like, golly, if I'm going to go see a surgeon, if it's complicated, I might get a second opinion.
Lord,
but if the second opinion confirms the first, I'm not going to try to tell the surgeon how to do the operation.
Yeah.
I don't want to operate on myself.
No.
Sometimes I'm like, I get you've owned this breed your whole life. You've trained probably 10 or 12 of them. You're here for a reason.
Right. Because this one is different.
It's not working. This one, please try what I'm asking.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
Very
Lord.
important.
Very frustrating.
And then, be fair to your dog. If you know your dog, reactive, aggressive dog, is going to lose his ever-living mind when you go to Chuck E. Cheese's.
Okay.
Don't go to Chuck E. Cheese. Work in the parking lot instead. Don't go in the building. Find where that threshold is.
Yes.
And what we mean by threshold is once I cross that line, the dog has lost his ability to control his impulses. Find out where that line, that threshold is, work within the line, and then keep bumping up against the line, and then come back away from the line, let the dog, the threshold, let the dog relax a little bit, then bump up against it, relax a little bit, do some easy drills the dog can have some easy victories with. Now move beyond the threshold ever so slightly, and you should see the dog's fine. So what you're doing by doing that is, people are constantly moving the threshold farther and farther away until eventually the threshold dissolves.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yes.
And read your dog.
Yeah.
The trick with that, though, is once your dog starts doing really well, do not get greedy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why a little bit at a time. Right.
You gotta slow and steady.
So Chuck E. Cheese's was obviously a stupid example, but if your dog doesn't do well at the dog park, we get this a lot. Don't freaking take your dog to the dog park.
Yes.
I don't take our dog.
No.
I don't. I rarely meet a trainer that thinks any dog park is a good idea. It's a fight club.
Yeah.
Does your dog have a good time there sometimes?
Sometimes.
Yeah, some dogs love it and thrive there, but some dogs, they really are uncomfortable. It's like the first day of school in perpetuity, because every time you go to the dog park, it's lots of new kids at school, big kids at school. So it really does cause a lot of nervousness in dogs to go to a dog park, unless you have the social butterfly just wants to hug everybody.
But it's still, sometimes I bet it's stressful.
Yeah, I just avoid dog parks. I can't stand them.
And then some people, I know we talked about dog parks before, but some dogs love dogs up to a certain age.
Yeah.
And then most dogs after a certain age, 2, 3, they're okay with their dog friend or the people. They don't need a dog.
They don't necessarily need that. Because dogs are social, but we are more part of their life than other dogs.
That's how we bred them.
Read your dog. Is your dog truly a social butterfly? Just because he is doesn't mean he's going to thrive in a dog park, because social butterflies can tend to set other dogs off that are not social butterflies. They don't want their face licked by every dog at the dog park. Read your dog.
It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, especially if you got like the golden retriever puppy and it's just not having it. You don't force it.
Find some good friends, not you human friends, but find some good dog friends that your dog can interact with, and have little play dates. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Match your dog's energy with the same type of dog and not breed, but the same type of energy that your dog has, so they can have a successful playtime.
Like my husky pit, one of his best friends ever is a Doggo Argentino, and it sounds like they're murdering each other.
Yeah.
Pickles does not play well with like puppies because he just bullies the crap out of him. He's just too rough and violent. Which he finds another like stick up your breed that likes that, or a rough tumble bully. They have a great time.
Right.
But retrievers and stuff like that, low drive dogs, you got to learn your dog.
A more mellow dog does not do well with Pickles.
No.
Right, exactly.
Even a mellow dog that likes to play rough, like Buddy.
Yeah.
Julie's dog, he plays rough. Pickles is just too much.
Too much. Yep, it's knowing your dog. And then reading your dog. So you find out where the threshold is. That doesn't mean that's always the threshold.
Yeah, we're hoping to get the threshold away.
Right. Yeah. But now, later on your walk back, you say, okay, this is typically, we crossed this threshold, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, you were good at the other environment.
Yep.
But don't assume that threshold is still the same in every environment.
Nope.
Find where that threshold is, stay within it until your dog is performing and doing good. Mark all of the good choices, and then start moving the threshold. What should happen if you're doing that right is you should move past that threshold faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're pushing your dog too fast.
Yeah.
And you also got to be aware your dogs are allowed to have bad days.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You might have been, this might be the park by the apartment or the house you go to, once a week at least. And today he's just not having it.
Yeah,
you gotta...
Dogs, wake up on the wrong side of the bed like humans, right?
Yep.
Or you don't know. Maybe he twisted his paw yesterday.
Maybe he has a headache.
He's a little discomfort, or has a headache.
Or maybe there's a storm coming.
Yeah, weather.
A barometer shift.
Yeah,
weird is happening. Just gotta make sure you keep up with your dogs.
Barometer pressure changes affect dogs' personalities.
And you should
do massive temperature changes.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
God, yeah.
And you should keep that in mind. If you know your dog knows what it's doing, where it's at, don't punish him because he's having a bad day.
Right.
Because you have a bad day too. Just remember that. Some days you wake up with a headache and you still got to go to work and you want to kill everybody.
The amount of times you're like, why aren't now? Let him loose. Oh, he had to poop. Okay. That was the freaking problem.
Yeah, he just had to go poo. and you weren't picking up that cue that, no, he really got to go right now.
We have air conditions in our fields. And I had I don't know, it was a while ago, a trainer out, dog knew how to do everything in this field, air conditioning turned on.
And they're kind of loud when they first start up.
And this dog freaked out. I'm like, he knows how to sit. I'm like, there's air conditioning above his head.
Above his head. It's making quite a bit of startup noise.
So, you didn't hook up your training tools correctly.
That's true.
Or when your dog's screwing up when they should be doing something right, stop.
Look at yourself first.
Yes,
because
going on.
You might have inadvertently confused your dog. Usually the dog's confused or the environment suddenly shifted, like your example, Laura, the big, huge AC unit above that training field turned on. It changed the environment.
Yeah.
It's a new room now.
That's with aggressive dogs too. If you've gone, this dog's doing great forever, and it meets someone and it acts out, it might be that person.
And that could be too.
That energy of that person, that dog is not okay.
Because there are
for many reasons, not because it's a bad person, but there's a lot of reasons dogs don't.
Because sometimes a dog just don't like somebody.
Yes,
and it's okay.
Even our therapy trained dogs, sometimes they just don't like someone.
And that doesn't mean that someone is a
bad person.
Human.
Now that's ridiculous.
It's just we don't like everyone we meet.
Yeah, it's just energy.
Well, sometimes
there's some vibe the dog's picking up that just doesn't gel with him. That's all.
We've all met someone within 2 seconds, like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
and it's not even that. Sometimes I'll just meet someone who's like, wow, you're too much for me.
Yes.
I don't dislike you. You're just too much for me.
Yeah. You need to go find another extrovert.
Let me find another extrovert for you to.
Not me.
But that would not be me. So it has nothing to do with really dislike. It's just we're not going to gel.
No. Yeah.
And our dogs are the same.
Yeah.
They're not going to gel with everybody.
That's why we like our greeting manners. We teach dogs is this dog is allowed. We release a dog to go say hi to the person. So they are determining if they get to go up to the person.
Right.
People are not coming up to any dog in the facility. Happy-go-lucky, want to bite your face off, dog,
we don't
doesn't
want
matter.
people, to come up and say hi to my dog. I'd say, no, I'll have my dog go say you.
And if
say
he
hi
doesn't,
to you.
and I, especially, we tell them if the dog doesn't want to say hi, they don't have to.
That's right.
Just like you teach a child, they don't have to go hug.
Because now the dog's in control, so there's less fear and anxious and uncertainty going on because they are in control of the interaction. And if they choose to skip the interaction, so be it. They didn't want to hug.
Especially if you have a reactive dog, you want, again, them making good decisions, but you're not forcing that good decision.
And that interaction, that introduction or go say hi, we do that with every dog we train.
Yes.
Not reactive dogs, but friendly dogs. Any dog we train, the dog should decide if they really actually want to meet this person or not.
Yep. It's a good thing.
Yeah. So be fair to your dog. Gotta be fair to your dog.
And remember, most dogs, there's very, very, very few purely dominant dogs. Most dogs that act out don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We can't, if we could talk to them, we'd be their therapist, but they can't tell us why they're acting this way, what happened in their past or whatever.
And then, so on that, you got to be patient.
Yes.
Some reactive and aggressive dogs take, we tell everyone we measure success in months, not weeks and days. And sometimes it's measured in about a year. Or two.
Yep.
There are some so severe cases that you're kind of actively managing that dog, helping them make choices from the foundation that you've helped train them in forever.
Yeah.
Because they are literally an emotional basket case.
But it is doable. We have a dog we're boarding right now that I would have classified that dog when she started training as full-on aggressive.
Lainey?
I want to go eat a dog.
Are you talking about Lainey?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Lainey's
she was hardcore back in the day. And now she goes to daycare. She's around other dogs. I wouldn't have believed it.
We trained her
a long time ago.
Almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 2.5 years ago.
So this is one thing. If you get a trainer that's going to guarantee if you actually have a dog that's reactive or aggressive to dog or human, that guarantee within 4 weeks or whatever their training program is, that's not going to do that anymore. They're compulsing your dog. You need to run. They're going to I'm going to say something rude, but they're going to put an e-collar on your dog and shut the fuck out of it.
Yeah. So, they're going to really punish the behavior away.
And
you cannot punish bad behavior away.
Because it's mental. It's emotional.
The problem is it looks like it does because they'll just stop barking and lunging.
Yeah. So now we've lost. Most likely, you have lost the ability for your dog to give you a warning.
Yes.
Yep.
And I would much rather have a dog growl at me
100%.
versus just bite me out of the blue. Whoa, where'd that come from?
And if you don't have that e-collar on, that dog's going to go right back to where it was because it wasn't trained at all.
If he still needs an e-collar, he literally was not trained.
Now it's this unpredictable dog that just randomly bites people. No, it's not random. Someone did it to that dog. It just will never fix the fear problem. It'll just stop the symptoms.
And that's one of Wyatt's jobs is to educate owners when they come in with these types of dogs.
The right expectation.
Yes.
What the process looks like.
Yes. And
the length of time that we're going to be involving. The requirements on the owner's end. That you're not just going to drop your dog off to us for 3-4 weeks and get a magic. No, you're going to put in effort on your end. That way, when they don't, we can kind of hold them accountable.
It's also why if you're looking for a dog trainer, group class after the fact is
a major,
super important.
Right.
Because you need a very safe, controlled environment to screw up.
For your dog to have a mistake.
Yes.
And you to make mistakes.
You need a safe space to make mistakes. And get feedback from a trainer.
Yeah, that's what you need.
But you don't start with group class because that's like going in the deep end of the pool and you literally don't know how to swim yet.
Yeah, throw a 3-year-old swim, baby.
You're going to be thrashing in the deep water. And, it's going to be miserable.
And you get frustrated and give up and not train your dog.
The other definitely big thing that I say with owners is they get impatient. Mm-hmm. They want it fixed. I get it. It's embarrassing. It makes you nervous. But you can't want it more than your dog does to get past this. But some things just take time. If you look at it from a human's perspective, how many therapists are there in the United States and how many people see therapists? Nobody goes to a therapist for 3 sessions once a week and then they're fixed.
Oh, if they did,
there would only be a couple therapists in the U.S. If most people go to therapists ongoing in for an extremely lengthy period of time,
6 months to a year,
and some go in perpetuity.
Yeah, it depends on what the trauma is.
Right, it just depends. So the advantage that therapist has, they're having 2-way dialogue and communication with the person sitting on the couch with them.
Yeah.
Your dog trainer and you don't have that ability. People don't have that ability with their dog.
Let alone if you have a street dog or a rescue.
Yeah, you don't even know what the baggage is to unpack.
Yeah.
Right. So you just have to say, there's baggage there. We'll never know what it is. So we just have to redefine what the world looks like for your dog.
Especially if you have a dog with triggers and it's multiple triggers that have to happen at the same time. Right. It's almost impossible to figure out. Like you just don't like men with hats. That's easy. But men with hats that are above 6 foot, that walk funny, like some weird multi-trigger thing, you're never going to figure it out.
It'll take a hell of a long time for you to kind of piece all those
trial and
together.
error. Yeah.
Tyler's little min pin. That dog was psychotic. It had so many in my office. It was great. It just was so scared. He did a lot with that dog, and he got a really good Google review.
Yeah, but amazing Google review.
It just takes a lot, and the owner was in it to win it.
Yeah,
because this was not her. She's had the dog a couple years. Dog's 6 years old. The dog's amazing now, but he
would bite. Women. A lot of people come in, and mostly it was women.
Just women.
Yeah.
And it'd be all happy, and you turn around and it'd bite you.
He got a couple people here at work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, during this training.
Don't think he really drew blood?
No, he didn't draw blood.
Just a little bite.
Yeah. A little hurting thing.
It was a miniature pincer, so I mean, how bad could it be? Thankfully, it was a min pin and not a full-size pincher. Doggone it, that reminded me of one other thing. Oh, when your dog when people's dog's reacting, we see it as aggression, but it usually is not.
Nope.
They're looking to avoid a conflict. They're not looking to start one.
Yeah,
it's a defense mechanism.
People got to remember that in the past, if your dog lunged and barked, that thing they're lunging and barking at typically went away.
Yeah.
So as far as your dog is interpreting this as my lunging and barking made that person walk past us and go away.
Yep.
The dog's behavior had nothing to do with it. That person was going to continue to walk whether
the Amazon guy.
anything happened or not. But your dog doesn't process it that way. That worked. I'll just keep doing it. So remember that. Some of the behaviors they do because they believe it worked.
Yeah.
And they're scared or they're anxious, they're nervous.
Another reason you don't want to be beating your dog. Your dog could legitimately think it's saving your life every time it yells at a dog or a human.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's the hero of the story.
Yeah.
And it does not understand why it's getting in trouble.
Because a lot of people turn around and go the other way when their dog. They look for dogs. They see a dog, they're out.
Yep, they're out. They leave. Well, that's what your dog's paycheck was. I bark, I act like a gangster. My mom takes me out of the equation.
And I am awesome. Superman.
It worked.
The problem is a lot of those behaviors all look the same.
Right.
So we'll never truly know with some dogs.
You get an idea whether it's true aggression or fear, but it's usually fear-based.
It's usually fear.
The easiest way to fix fear is remove the fear of the unknown by making it known.
Making everything known.
Yeah, and then
that's why early socialization with a dog, a puppy, is key.
Right.
To have a very balanced dog.
Especially with some breeds. I'm like, you're going to train this dog no matter what you do. You have a European German Shepherd. You're going to train this dog. Would you rather whether a puppy, whether easy and fun, or in 2 years when you're finally fed up with your dog that you finally now and train your dog?
Or Vizsla, or a very high-strung hunting dog, like a Weimaraner. I don't say that right.
Some breeds you're going to train no matter what you do. Might as well do it as a puppy while it's easy.
Aussies. We got a lot of Aussies.
Next week, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the day in the life of a trainer.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a dog trainer, we're literally going to have a conversation about that. There are so many things behind the scenes that are necessary, required, needed to train a dog, prepare for training, all that. So it'll either bore the hell out of you, or it'll go, wow, I never knew that. You got to do that. Yeah. Who would think you guys got to do that?
Yeah. Not just playing with puppies all day.
Yeah, it's not just petting dogs all day.
Yeah.
So we're going to dig into that. And if you've been wanting to become a dog trainer, it's definitely something you'd want to listen to, because you may decide change thought process.
You need a good pair of walking shoes.
Bring your walking shoes to this one. So that'll be next week. And until then, if you need help with your reactive or aggressive dog, or just a dog that acts like a gangster in the house, he doesn't know what he's supposed to do, we'd love to be part of you and your dog's training journey. Give us a call or go to our website, k-9culture.com, and click on contact us and let us know what your issues are, what your goals are, and we'll reach out to you and set up a free evaluation and consultation. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. K9 Culture Dog Training DFW is our handles on both of those. And until next week,
go have fun with your dog.